Welcome to everybody so far. We're going to wait a few more minutes. I think we'll have a few more people coming on. In the meantime, lots of information for you to take in while we wait. I have to chuckle every time I see this one. I'm sure that doesn't make him very happy, but I like it.
I hope so. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, right.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and
All right.
see. Since we have kind of a tight schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blaine, are you running the thing? Will you share your screen?
Yeah, I can go
Yeah.
inside the screen
Yeah.
share.
And I will get us started. I'm Ann Ware. While this is loading up, I think probably most of you know me. A little bit of housekeeping. We're going to be doing this in a couple of different sections. And in between, we'll have some time for questions. So if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A and rather than the chat, because we can track it better over there. It won't get lost in the shuffle. Excuse me. So, Ann Ware, that's me, one of the co-leaders for Fort Worth Area Indivisible, and we are partnering with Indivisible Text 12. I think most of you also know Sabrina, who is one of the leader of that coalition, and we're trying to put together this what's next plan with you all. Before I go forward, introducing also Blaine. He's the one with the butterfly there. And Blaine is also a co-leader for our Fort Worth Area Indivisible. So both of our organizations started in 2025, and we didn't know each other at first. We started at the same time, unaware what was going on with the other, but soon did find and connect with each other. And there's been, as you can see here, and as some of you were able to see on the slideshow beforehand, lots has been going on in the Fort Worth, Tarrant County area with our indivisible groups, and we've had protests, we've had lots of work with Indivisible Text 12, working to get ICE out of Fort Worth, and of course the protests at Craig Goldman's office, which have also been a mutual aid type event, the People's Commissioner Court, all kinds of activities going on. And as you can see on the next slide, some of our biggest activities have been the No Kings. Hopefully, you were able to go to the most recent one. Huge record across the entire nation. Even better than what we did with No Kings 2. And we want to keep that momentum going. We want to say, first of all, thank you on the next slide to everybody who has already been helping us with No Kings, going to No Kings, going to all of the other activities that Indivisible Text 12 has been supporting and sponsoring. But we also want to ask you to help us in the future. And with that help, we are looking, we want to remember, I should say first, this 3.5% rule. There's some research behind that. Some of you may be familiar with it, but basically it says that nonviolent protests are likely to succeed better than other kinds of protests if we can get about 3.5% of our population not just doing something, but actively, persistently, consistently involved in the fight, if you will, and for our purposes, saving our democracy. So that's why we are here today. We need to move beyond No Kings 3. We may have some other No Kings, but in between all of these huge historical, excuse me, protests, we need to continue the action. And what we're hoping to do this time around with each of you and folks that were with us at the Sunday meeting in person and the folks that you bring on board in the next couple of weeks, we want to try to build a neighborhood network. Let's go ahead, little neighborhood networks. Let's go ahead and look at the next slide, and I'll have a few more things to say. We want to help and support people across Tarrant County in forming small neighborhood relationships that can focus on three things, and these are the three different areas we're going to go through in our presentation today. We want to focus on mutual aid, simply helping each other out. We want to focus on helping our immigrant population as they face an incredibly difficult time with ICE and the horrible, horrible fascist regime destroying their lives. And we want to help get the vote out, turn out the biggest vote we've ever had. If Hungary can do it with 80% and get rid of a fascist, we can too. So those are the three things we're going to talk about during the time today. Remember, as you have questions, put them in the Q&A. We'll take a break every once in a while to do, excuse me, address those questions. And that said, I'm going to move to the next slide and move over to Sabrina to take on.
Hi, good evening. We would like to set up indivisible neighborhood care networks. And these are going to have three parts. And what does that look like? It starts by just being a good neighbor and creating a line of communication between you and your neighbors. One you can use to help each other, keep each other safe, and participate in our democracy. So we'll be just doing a general overview of those topics today and help giving you a starting point. The goal is to improve communication in our individual neighborhoods. So that is under direct threat by state control. And if you have a direct line to your neighbors and you've built trust, it's harder for regimes to rule. So we've identified three areas to focus on. There could be more in your neighborhood, but these are just the three we're going to focus on today. And number one is being a helper. Okay, next. And what is a helper? It's literally helping your neighbor, jump-starting someone's car, giving old baby clothes to a new mother, mowing the lawn for an elderly neighbor, maybe helping an immigrant prepare for a court hearing, and we'll talk about that later. Mutual aid is we're talking about mutual aid, and that's not guessing what people need, it's responding to what people ask for. Next. Mutual aid is where people in an area or a community come together to support one another, collectively meeting each other's needs without the help of official bodies like the state or non-governmental agencies. And that can include some of the big nonprofits. Mutual aid grows when neighbors step up to support each other in ways systems don't always reach. By helping your neighbors fill a need caused by the government, you can expose the injustice and potentially come up with better solutions that reduce the reliance on the regime that we're suffering from right now. And you build solidarity with that neighbor, and it might be someone you didn't necessarily have anything in common with before you started this. Next. How it works in practice. People name their own needs. Neighbors offer what they can. Support is voluntary, respectful, and direct. It is not charity, and it's not what I know what's best for you, and it's not one-way giving. This is not something that is going to come easy to you at first because we have a mindset of charity and assuming what someone else needs. I dropped a book recommendation in the chat. That's this book here, Mutual Aid. It's tiny, it's a fast read, but it kind of changes your mindset on what charity is and what helping someone is, what mutual aid is. We ask, we don't assume what would be helpful right now, and we support, and our support is based on what they express that they need, not our judgment of what they need. And we Mutual aid is like how we communicate and meet immediate needs while building the power to change the conditions that created those needs. So it's going to look different in different communities. So I live in an affluent community. I'm not going to necessarily install mutual aid in my neighborhood, but I might talk to my neighbors about how we can help a nearby community. It's certainly, not 2 minutes down the street is a community that has high needs. So we'll look at that. Sorry, my dog is right here. He refused to leave the room. Um, Next. Oh, I think I'm missing a slide. Did I go back to, there's the, what is mutual aid? Did I skip one?
It appears to have gone missing. My apologies. I'm not sure what
Oh,
happened with that. I didn't
okay.
remove the slides,
So
but
I'm just going to talk about it. So mutual aid is doing what you can do, where you can do it, and when you can do it. You're not going to assume what someone needs. You're not going to fix something for them, or decide it for them. It takes time, outreach, and reflection to find the best way you can help your community. In mutual aid, you aren't just giving someone something, you're working towards a solution together. And this might look like we're fighting data centers right now. That is helping your community by stopping something that's destructive in your community. Um, I gave you your book recommendation. Let's see. So, an example. So, our protest on First Fridays at the Fort Worth Club, that is an example of highlighting the need in our community. So, Craig Goldman is our representative in Congressional District 12. He does not meet with his constituents. He offices out of the private Fort Worth Club that you cannot get into. But he also has some very underserved communities, like out on the west side, up in the northwest of the district, out in the rural areas. So, what we do is we're protesting Craig on that Friday, but we're also taking donations for our mutual aid partners. And I ask for specific donations for things that they have expressed that their clients need. Um, and we accept them while we're protesting what Craig is doing. And we're actively trying to get him out of that private office so that he can be more accessible to his to the taxpayers. So next. Okay, so Funky Town Fridge is one of those partners. I mentioned Fort Worth Community Collaborative. Funky Town Fridge is nice. They're just pantries and open. It's a pantry that's outside and a fridge that's outside. These are their two locations, and there's nobody standing there policing this pantry or the refrigerator. You can just come and take what you need. So obviously, no one is checking your ID. No one is making sure you are deserving of this food. It's a great example of mutual aid, and every time I get something that maybe sometimes I'll take like what we get from our Friday protest and sort through what I know Fort Worth Community Collab needs, and then I'll take, I'll stop by one of these fridges and just put the rest in that. Okay, next. This is Fort Worth Community Collab. On their website, I don't know if you can see. Um, Depending on what screen you have, if you scroll down a bit, you can see they've got some other options. They have a voucher program, so there is some cost to a lot of the store, but there are sections of the store that are free and you can apply for assistance. But they do a lot of free things. So they give out food, they give out meal kits, and those are all posted on their website, cowtowncloset.org. Okay, next is our first Q&A section. We're going to take about 5 minutes. And if you have other mutual aid organizations besides Funky Town Fridge and Cowtown Closet, if you could drop those in the chat, I would appreciate it. I'm looking specifically for things on the north side and up in the northwest end of the district. There are some very poor areas up in like Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, and Azle. There's kind of rural areas that need assistance. I've People have asked me for mutual aid up there, and it's hard to find ones that are secular. So if you, which it's not necessarily required that they be secular, but it's helpful because there are some families that would prefer not to. But whatever you can find, please drop it in the chat. Da, 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 da. Okay, and I'm going to show you a flyer real quick. I'm going to drop it in the chat. This flyer, I accidentally closed all my tabs and now I'm scrambling. Um, okay, so this flyer is an example of how you can get connected to your neighborhood. And I have a friend who works with a group called No Small Act. Um, and she took a flyer, well, not this exact flyer, but she took this flyer. She edited it for with her telephone number. You don't have to use your personal telephone number. You can use a Google Voice number, which are free. But it's good to create a direct connection. So try not to be scared to share your number. She took this and she put it on every single door in her neighborhood. And she got 8 people that responded, and now they are in a they're using GroupMe. And that's what people will come back and they'll answer you, and you just say, okay, how do we want to communicate? How do we want to get together? And it could be on Signal, it could be GroupMe, it could be WhatsApp. I would say steer clear of a Facebook group because the kids don't like a Facebook group, and you want something that is accessible to young folks. Um, I'm gonna kick my dog out while I'm at. Okay. And do you
And
have anything?
well, I'm just going to note the comment, excuse me, that Winston put in there about the Episcopal Four Saints Food Bank in the Meadowbrook area. And I've also heard of that one, so that's another option. And if anybody just has any quick questions about mutual aid or some ideas of what they might be able to do in their neighborhoods for mutual aid, put it in the Q&A or the chat. We're happy to brainstorm a little bit, or we can move on forward.
So some ideas I have are right before Christmas, like a toy swap for young families, so they don't have to purchase new toys because what's my kid's old toy is your kid's new toy. I'm also thinking about maybe a summer swap meet. If I can find a place big enough indoors, we can just all bring our stuff and and swap. Um, my oldest is looking for a for an apartment right now, and their roommate that's coming in is a sweet 20-year-old that doesn't have a driver's license or a car.
Mm.
And we're trying to figure out, okay, how can this kid afford a monthly public transportation pass? So I'm helping this kid figure out aid that they can receive in Denver um, to help fund that pass. But also, I can see that there are ride shares set up for young people that they help each other get where they need to be, which is another form of mutual aid. Oh, that's good, Winston. Okay. Um, if we want to move to the net, if y'all are ready to move on, we can. Was there anything in the Q&A? No, no open questions. Okay. All right. Our next section is about so we're going to have three total. So the first one is mutual aid and just connecting with your neighbors. The second is protecting our neighbors. Um, we know that everyone is anxious to get started in ICE networks, ICE rapid response networks, and we're going to ask everybody to just calm down for a second and get trained. And first, when you go out and you create this community within your neighborhood, and you identify folks that want to help, uh, we are setting up trainings with El Movimiento, an immigrant support group based in Dallas. Um, the next training in Fort Worth will be either May 16th or May 17th. I am figuring that out right now. uh, in I will drop in the chat a link for you to sign up. Um, the first link that you get, the first form that you get is to sign up just to be on their list. And then they will send out the training dates that are available, and then there's a form within that email where you can sign up for that specific training date. And we ask that these do not go out on social media. They're privately vetted so that we just make sure that um, trusted people, trusted individuals are in the group and not people that have bad intents. So in these trainings, uh, El Movimiento has set up a network of verifiers. So you might have noticed sometimes people will post something online about, oh, I think that's ICE, and it causes a panic. Um, we do not want that to happen. El Movimiento teaches you how to respond to those posts. They have a verifier group. These are people that have been trained. And once you go through the training, you'll be part of that group and you will know how to go out, verify that it's ICE, and report back and observe while you're there. And then once ICE leaves, once they do what they're going to do, how you can support that community afterward. And they're hitting a lot of apartment complexes, and some of these apartment complexes are not, maybe we've approached them ahead of time about how to respond to ICE and they haven't been receptive. They're usually receptive after someone's been taken. So you can stop in after someone's been taken and give them information about the Fourth Amendment rights of their tenants and how they don't have to let them through the gate, things like that. So our neighborhood care network can be part of the overall community support infrastructure. And uh, by mobilizing in this way, we'll be ready to aid the immigrant members of your community by setting it up this way. So next. So races is another group that we utilize. That's our phone number there in DFW. I have been working, Cindy is on the call today. I've been working with Cindy. She's runs the immigration committee with the Justice Network of Tarrant County. And we've been working on the Tarrant County side of things and getting ready, supporting an infrastructure for rapid response. Cindy has put together some business packets that you can take if you have a relationship with a business owner. You can take this to that business owner, teach them about their Fourth Amendment rights, teach them how to prepare for an I-9 audit, and how to support their immigrant workforce. We also have a family preparedness packet, and that's super important for immigrant families, undocumented people. They are getting called to court, and we know that at the end of the day, if ICE hasn't reached their quota, that they will likely be taken. And these packets will help their families prepare for that if and when it happens. And then we're setting up Cindy's through the Justice Network. They are setting up a mutual aid fund for impacted folks. And we're going to share, if you, I think it's on the next screen, is El Movimiento's number. Yes. So this hotline, when you see ICE, you can call that hotline and let them know, and then that will go out to the verifier group. But you can also call if you are impacted, if you're undocumented and your spouse is taken or something, you can call and ask for support. And what we are wanting to do, since this number is out there right now, we're just planning on supporting this number and hopefully sending more volunteers their way to support the hotline for the Tarrant County side. Eventually, if it becomes too much, we will look at having our own hotline. But right now, since this one's out there and it's been shared widely, if you are bilingual in any language, we would hope if you could be trauma informed, that would be great. But if you are willing to staff a hotline, just let us know, and we will look at getting you hooked into this work. It's not something that you sit and staff like at a desk. It's they route a call to you wherever you are because it happens at any time of day. I know that you all like want to make whistles and whistle kit making parties are a thing. We are working on a zine for the Tarrant County side to put in whistle kits, but we are not making whistle kits right now on the Tarrant County side and just handing it to individuals. We would like to encourage as many people as possible to go through the training with El Movimiento. And I'm going to drop that link in the chat. Fortunately, I accidentally closed all my bajillion tabs. Okay. So if you want to go to this link and fill out that form to be in the group for Fort Worth, they will start sending you information on our upcoming trainings. And like I said, it's either gonna be May 16th or May 17th, and it'll be in like this one in May will be in Fort Worth proper, so it'll be near downtown. Most likely at West Side UU, but we have to confirm that. And then that's a church in Fort Worth. But we are looking, I'm speaking with Northwest Progressives about doing one up in the northwest end of the district and maybe one on the north side. Next. So this is what Base just mentioned. The work we do with El Movimiento does get reported back to ICE out. So they train you how to go, how to observe, how to get all the info, and then we feed it back in to this iceout.org site. Next. Okay. We again urge you to get trained, but If you're legally observing immigration detainment, please maintain a 15 to 20-foot distance. Don't get in between you. Don't put yourself in between their target and them. I wouldn't do that. Record and narrate what you see. Maintain an even speaking tone. Follow lawful directions. Gather any identifying information if possible, if you can get their name and their family contact information, and avoid agitation or escalation of the situation. Just speak low and slow. You do have the right to record enforcement in public spaces during the performance of their duties. You don't have the right to physically obstruct them. If you take video of someone, please do not post it if it has like their face on it, like the person that's being detained. I don't care if you post about ICE, but just it's unkind to the person that's being detained. Okay. And then I guess next. All right. This is information you'll learn through El Movimiento, but this is the protocol they follow for gathering all the information for the people over Paper's website and for just ourselves here in Tarrant County. You note the size and strength of the force, how many cars there are, how many police officers there are, what they're doing. Are they just talking to people? Are they actively detaining someone? Do they have a judicial warrant or a civil warrant? The location and direction, so the exact intersection if you can, or the exact address. But if they're headed out, you can say what direction they're going, what kind of clothes they have on, and what it says on the clothing. There are different forces. There's like CBP, DHS, ICE. Um, just if you'll notate that when you're observing, and then the time and date of the observation and whatever equipment they have or weapons they have, like if they have long guns or tasers and handguns. Um, Next. Okay, so we need help with the hotline. Um, Obviously, running out to verify um, an ICE sighting and grocery delivery. So this might be something if you're not comfortable uh, with going out and observing and checking on ICE. We do need help. There are people that are stuck in their homes, and these are folks that have called into the hotline, and you can help by delivering their groceries, which is nice. Okay, next. All right. Anne, do you want to questions?
Comments, questions, elaboration on any of the, protecting our immigrant neighbors and thoughts about how you might be able to do that. Cindy, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I just want to make a correction. The next LO training in Fort Worth will not be at Westside. If you remember from the signal chat, the law firm,
Sorry. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and hopefully May 16th is their ideal day that they want to, and that's all I'm waiting. I think that's all we're waiting on to be able to like start sending it out there is a
Do you
time.
do you remember what side of town that law office is on?
So they actually have two. I need to check with her on which space which one. So there's one on Berry Street actually in Fort Worth. I'm not sure. I don't. I'm not sure what part of Berry Street it's located on. I haven't noticed it when I drive on Berry, but also I've been looking for it. So I can't say on that. And then the one in downtown is very close to the courthouse, and it's got a pretty big parking lot. It's just, I mean, you've probably seen it and didn't realize you'd seen it because, like, after I went down there for whatever reason, and I was like, oh, there it is, right there. It's directly across the street, and from the court. It's on the west side of the old granite courthouse. It's easy to get to, especially on the weekend. And I'd have to check on the, and also I don't know for sure which one she is referring to, which one would, so I need to find out about that.
That would be approximately 200 West Belknap.
That sounds right. How about the berry one? Did you see that?
No, I don't know.
One of the things we hope to do with having this, excuse me, network is to keep you all informed about these kinds of things and when these trainings are happening, and and then you can reach out and inform others.
Face.
Yes, since the subject is ICE, April 25th is Communities Not Cages, and I was wanting to see if there's anything in Fort Worth that's a protest or anything that might be taking place.
I happen to know there's something in Dallas, but I don't know of anything in Fort Worth. But I can find the Dallas one and put it in the chat if you're interested in that.
Yeah, I have the Dallas one. I
Yeah.
just was wondering if anything was happening in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth has had
Yeah.
one in the past, us out of Tarrant, but they don't seem to be having one this year.
Yeah. I'll check with some of the younger orgs. I know they're planning for May Day. Maybe this hasn't come across their radar yet, but I just know I don't have the bandwidth right now, but I will post it when I see it.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be the big focus right now is May Day.
Yeah. Yeah. I know like a lot of the orgs in DFW have been working on May Day for a long time. So um I think they weren't just I think all their training days are the weekend prior. So they wouldn't be able to hold another protest, I don't think.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
to manage their resources.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are y'all ready to move on? Okay. Our third piece is civic engagement, and that is registering people to vote, sharing voting information, and participating in the democratic process. I know that this can be hard for a lot of folks that I work with. I left, well, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. I'm still work with the Democratic Party, but I was pretty upset after the November election and kind of branched out to look for something else. And I came across the Working Families Party, and that brought me to Indivisible. Um, because I realized that, the Democratic Party has failed us quite a bit. But I also recognize that the Democratic Party can change, and while it's tedious, there is a process for change. And there are a lot of people in the party right now. There are precinct chairs and volunteers within the Democratic Party that don't necessarily call themselves Democrats. And they are progressives, they're leftists, they're democratic socialists, they're all these things working towards the same goal. And if you might notice that the Democratic Party uh, just seems older, but that's because young people are frustrated. But I'm hoping to bring more young people into the party so that they can affect change within the party. And it seems like just since I've started with the Democratic Party, I think I've been there 3 years now, that they are working. We are trending a little bit younger, and that's helping locally. So we were going to have Deandra from Powered by the People here. I think I can work through her slides if you'll bring me the next one.
Party
Um,
doesn't matter. It's beating the other side.
yeah, right. I mean, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Everybody has an opinion on how to do it, but if we're not absolutists in how to do it, if we're just working together uh, in this collective action strategy, I think we can get there. Um, so the first piece for work in your neighborhood along the civics line is becoming a volunteer deputy registrar, and that is registering people to vote. So you can do this. It's fairly simple. You're volunteering your time, and wherever you are in the world, you can register people to vote. I did this for 2 years. Carried around my stuff with me. It's different than the cards that you can sign and mail in to register to vote. As a volunteer deputy registrar, you have a form that you fill out with a person that registers them to vote that day. And they're registered to vote from the day they fill it out with you. And then you are responsible for taking it to the elections office in Tarrant County. And
Can I interrupt real quick?
yes,
So you're not registered to vote in Texas as soon as you fill out the card.
we just talked about with Deandra um, on Sunday night.
So it takes, I mean, in other words, you cannot go, maybe I'm misunderstanding,
Yeah,
but
it's
you cannot go vote.
no, you have to have your card, but it counts from
And
the
you have
day
to,
that you fill it out
well,
with the
no,
volunteer deputy registrar.
you have to be registered 30 days ahead
Right.
of the
So if
latest
you do
election.
it, so if you do it 30 days ahead with a
Correct.
VDR,
And the
you fill it
VR
out
goes in
on that
Thursday.
date.
Right.
As long as they get it into the office, it counts from that date that you fill
Correct.
it out with them.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
As long as it's 30 days ahead of the election.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Next. So to be a VDR, you have to be 18 years of age or older, a U.S. citizen, and a Texas resident. You cannot have been determined to be mentally incapacitated. I can't say that word. Have been convicted or of failing to deliver a voter registration application to a voter registrar, have been convicted of identity theft, or have any unresolved felony convictions. It's pretty simple. It's an open book test. They do in-person trainings. March to the Polls does some. I think League of Women Voters sometimes does them, but it's a fairly simple process, and uh, you go to the elections office and apply there. I believe there is a form online to sign up, but you do have to go in to take the test. Okay, next. If you become a VDR, you can help your friends and coworkers register to vote. You can build larger teams of VDRs and go out in pairs. I have a bilingual VDR that I like to pair with folks at events. Find local businesses to host voter registration drives. March to the Polls goes to high schools. And then I have a precinct chair that's a VDR, and she does it at TCC. She'll just put up a table every once in a while and register people. Offer to register it at your local church after services or on public sidewalks during street festivals. Next. Okay, so we had Deandra. She couldn't make it tonight. Powered by the People was started by Beto, and this is a large group of people that are really active in Texas. They do have VDR training, and you can volunteer with their organization. I think the next slide, go ahead and go to the next slide. So their impact, 1,300 plus volunteers across Texas. They have increased the turnout rate by 19 points or higher than the average in Texas for all age groups. Plus 40% turnout increase among young voters. And the Democratic primary turnout jumped to 12.4% this last year. So even though Beto didn't get elected, he's done a lot of good work in Texas. Okay, next. So the problem at home in the 2024 general election, less than 43% of registered voters in Texas didn't vote, or approximately 43% of registered voters in Texas didn't vote. I forget what she said about this slide. 2024 primary election, the Democratic side, the turnout was 4.48% of the voting age population. So their goal is to improve these numbers. Next. And they do that with a tool. One of the tools they use is called Reach. The Apple screen on your right is what it looks like on your phone in the App Store, in the Apple App Store. I don't know what it looks like in the Android App Store. I'm assuming it's the same little blue square. But so this is something I have used it for a couple of years. I started using it a few years ago through a different group. Um, but it's on my phone. I don't know if you can say that. No, no. Um, and I use it to remind my friends. So you use your personal network of friends and family. I use it to remind them to vote during the early voting period. And then I can go back in the app and see who of my friends and family have not voted. After the early voting period is over, I can go back and text them and say, hey, you didn't vote. Get your butt to the polls on election day. And I share election information with them. I can also help them, like I can look up anyone in the system and say what districts they're in. Um, it also helps with voter ID so that you say you meet someone in the world, say you've become a VDR and you've met someone and you registered them to vote. You can ask them, would you like to be in my network? And I can remind you to vote before election day, or help you with polling information, like help you with your polling location information. If they say yes, you put them in your network and then you've got them. You've got them for early voting period, and then to text them right before election day. Now, I will say I have not had the bandwidth to do it a lot lately, but I've noticed that the people that I first started contacting a few years ago, many of them reach out to me before I have a chance to reach out to them. And so I have started putting together voting information. So I have it at the ready when they contact me. And I just did it for the May election. So this link in the chat will take you to 817 Pods guide to the May election, to the Tarrant County Democratic Party's guide, and then I have just like another Google page that has like the Star Telegram, the Fort Worth Report, and I think there's one other on there. If you have others besides those two news outlets, and I think I put Vote 411. So 817 Pod, TCDP, Star Telegram, Fort Worth Report, and Vote 411. If you have any more, if you'll drop it in the chat, I can put it in that Google Drive. And then that same link works.
And I would like to interject here a little briefly. If you scroll up to the top of the chat, there is a link in there for the Reach app. And I would highly recommend this. We had quite a bit of interest in this from the group on Sunday, but this is a really good way to get started reaching out, imagine that name, to your own little network and slowly but surely encouraging people to get out there and vote and tracking it and monitoring it and
Yeah.
helping.
I'll show you what my page looks like.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So say you might meet me out in the world and you look me up. It will look like just drop that in the chat. That's what the first page looks like. And this is a survey. So you've had a conversation with me and you put in here whether you think I'm a strong Democrat all the way over to strong Republican. And then you can see next to where it says survey, it says contact info. You can edit my contact info within Reach. It says location and it says 3. That means that's the 3 voted three registered voters that are in my home. So me, my husband, and my oldest. Um, and you can look all of us up in that tab. The next tab that is kind of cut off, it says that's details. And I'll show you what that's the one I find very helpful. And that's where if somebody says, I don't know what my precinct is, I find this to be much quicker. Now, it's not fully updated with the redistricting, um, but it tells me, the main ones like my congressional district, my state senate district, my state house district. Those haven't changed. My SBOE district haven't changed. It's just my precinct. I'm now in precinct 4, so it's 4076, and I've moved from precinct 1 to precinct 4, and those should update hopefully soon. Okay, next. March to the polls. She just threw this in here. Deandra threw this in here because March to the Polls is a great group, and they're a great organization if you want to help register people to vote, and they go into the high schools. I have volunteered with March to the Polls, and you're paired with other folks. It's all nonpartisan, and you go into a classroom and you help register like the seniors or the people that are the kids that are 18 years old or about to turn 18. You talk to them about how important it is, how important voting is, and then you can help register them right there. And this is in partnership with public schools. If you're interested in doing that, there's Carol Rayburn's information, and you can contact her and get started with March to the Polls. Okay, next. All right. So one of the most important people in your neighborhood to get to know is the precinct chair. So I would find out who is your precinct chair, what your precinct number is. They are the heart of local organizing. So this is just a neighbor that goes out into the neighborhood, identifies voters, and informs them about elections. Precinct chairs also help people that vote by mail. So you help them in January get their application in for the entire year. This is especially helpful for like senior citizens. Um, and just remind people throughout the year, like, hey, did you get your ballot in the mail? Don't forget to turn it in by this date. So if so, we would like for you to figure out who your precinct chair is in your neighborhood. If you don't have a precinct chair, consider becoming a precinct chair. If you do have a precinct chair, consider volunteering with that precinct chair to help. If you are particularly good on the computer, there are a lot of precinct chairs that maybe aren't good on the computer, and you can help them by becoming a super volunteer. And that's a phrase. If you say it to them, say, I would like to volunteer as a super volunteer to help you with your data. Um, you can also be something called a democratic neighborhood leader, and that is, say you have a good precinct chair in your precinct. That precinct chair doesn't need any help, but the neighboring precinct doesn't have a precinct chair. You can volunteer as a democratic neighborhood leader. You get all the access of a precinct chair. So you get access to the database, the voter database. You just don't get voting rights within the party. A precinct chair has voting rights within the party. That's where I talked about um, uh, voting on the direction of the party and influencing the party. A precinct chair does that. They vote on the bylaws, they vote on their goals and aspirations, and they send delegates to the convention. Um, a DNL does not have that power, and you're not listed anywhere publicly, but you still get access to the precinct, and you can still block walk and call people and knock on doors. Let's see. Okay, next one. So step one is learn who represents me. I'm looking at the people on this, and I feel like everybody knows who their precinct chair is. If you do not know your precinct chair, we can help you figure it out. But here is, I am going to drop. Lauren, do you know your precinct chair? I'm going to pick on you for a minute.
Can me?
Hi, I'm embarrassed to say I'm not sure I do.
Okay, do you know your precinct number?
No. Is
All
it a
right, let's
table?
look up Lauren. Okay, so
Okay.
first I'm going to look up Lauren. Let me make sure I spell it. Yeah. Okay. You're in Glencoe? Lauren, are you in Glencoe? You're on Glencoe. That's right. Okay. Are you still 1108? You weren't redistricted out? You're muted. If Roderick still represents you, I can look it up. Okay. So I've looked up her precinct number.
No, Roderick does not represent me anymore.
Okay.
It was changed. Yeah.
Okay. So you have Manny now.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So I'm going to I went to tarrantdemocrats.org. I put that in the chat. Um, actually, I'm going to share my screen so I can show everybody. Um, okay. Da-da. Okay. So this is the Tarrant County Democratic Party website. So I can go to party and go to precinct chair lookup. This is also an easy spot for if you need to know what your precinct number is, you can click on this Tarrant County voter lookup, put in your address, and it should tell you your precinct. It may or may not be right now because the Secretary of State hasn't caught up. But I do know that all the precinct information is right now. Like our volunteer, Paula, in the party office has worked hard to make sure that these are right. So Lauren's was supposed to be 1108, but she got redistricted out. So if she's Manny, Manny is in precinct 4. So she is 4108. Da, 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 da. Sorry.
Precinct number is listed on your registration card.
Yes. And I think the ones that came in the mail should be right. But I think like Sue Anderson was there on Sunday and I think hers was wrong. Okay. So you are 4108. 4108. Okay. So Lauren, do you see when her name is When? I think that's how you say it. I'm surprised. You might have met her at my house.
Yes, I know who that is.
Yes.
Yay.
So
I'm
that
I'm
is your
impressed.
precinct chair, and that is her
Perfect.
email address, and that is her phone number.
Okay. Okay,
And
good.
these are all your districts. So you're in Congressional District 12. Um, what is 11? What is that? City 9, House District 97. Oh, maybe it's State Senate 11. Commissioner Precinct 4. What is 6? What are those? I don't even know what all these are. Okay.
One of
Oh,
them is
SBOE.
the,
Okay,
Yeah,
you're State Board of Ed 11. And Justice of the Peace was 6, I think. 4108. Okay. Yeah. So there you go, Lauren. Do you want me to
thank
just
you so much. I
I'll throw,
appreciate
I'll throw
it.
it, I'll throw it in the chat for you.
Good. Helpful website. Really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sabrina, would you look up 2004 on that
Sure.
list?
Sure. Let me put this in here so I have it. Okay. Da, da, da. I'm gonna go back. All right. You said 2004?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, Jay Jackson.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a dude. Sorry. Here, I'm gonna copy
Can
that.
you go to 498?
I'll put that in the chat for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anybody else?
4498.
4498. Sorry. Okay.
So now after this, everybody has to reach out to their
All
precinct
right.
chair.
24. You do not have a
Uh-oh.
precinct chair.
Uh-oh, Gordon.
Oh,
Gordon would make a great precinct chair.
Come on, Gordon.
Woo, okay. All right, so Blaine, you can share again. All right. So that was our step one is to learn who your precinct chair is. Um, learn who represents you, maybe learn Reach. You can sign up for trainings to learn how to use Reach. And we will send you those trainings through Deandra will send us when there's an opportunity. I think they have regular ones. And there are a couple of different campaigns you can join. You can join Powered by the People. I joined years ago with a different group, but it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Step two is volunteer. So you figure out the needs of your neighborhood, and then you volunteer in the best way that's suitable for you. And then you train. So depending on what you're doing, if you want to be a precinct chair, a super volunteer, or a Democratic neighborhood leader, you will need to train on the database. And those trainings are the first Saturday of every month with the Tarrant County Democratic Party. I think if you go to the next screen. This is it's called VAN. It's the Voter Action Network database. And that's where I'm a House District Coordinator. And so I have access to all of Texas House District 99. So even the open precincts that don't have a precinct chair, I can go look at them. So we have a guy who came on Sunday. He wants to help me in an open precinct. I'm going to pull a list for him, and he's going to go work that precinct for me for this May election. He picked one close to his house. Maybe I can talk him into being a Democratic neighborhood leader later. But this database it can be a little tricky, but you get your training. There's lots of tools online. There are a lot of people in the party willing to help you. I'm willing to help you if you need help. And like I said, if you're good on the computer, maybe you can be a super volunteer and help people. I will say our data is not as good as the Republicans party's data. I don't believe so. I think we have fallen behind in Tarrant County on making sure this data is accurate. So, and I know people hate data, but that data helps us really focus in an election because you have limited time, you have limited money. And if I only have a week left before the election, I need to focus my attention on the people that show up just some of the time. So the people that I know that are strong voters that come to every election, maybe I don't bug them in that last week. I go and talk to the person that maybe only votes in the presidential um, to go vote in the municipal. So that the data that's in these websites, in this database really helps. And especially like figuring out where they stand on issues or if they live there anymore. Sometimes they've moved, and we need to change that information in the system. Okay, next. Are you registered to vote in Tarrant County? So that I showed you earlier on the precinct lookup page, that QR code takes you to the Tarrant County voter lookup, and that is where you put in your address. If you want to screenshot that to share with other people, Um, and then on the right hand side is this is like a sample flyer. So Blaine, is this Blaine's? Yes, Blaine is a precinct chair, and this is his flyer. And you can help someone like Blaine deliver this flyer all through his precinct. I'm telling my precinct chairs, I as a House District coordinator, I help the precinct chairs in House District 99, and I help find new precinct chairs. One of the ways I help a precinct chair is I help them with flyers like this, and I also help them figure out where they're putting this flyer. And right now, I'm telling them to put it on every door because people are leaving the Republican Party or they're uncertain of where they are in the world. And this flyer, I always say, like, I even have like a letter that says, "Hi, I'm the Democratic precinct chair. You may not be a Democrat, but I am willing to help you if you don't know where to vote or you just need voting information." You just open the door to people. And that's just part of being a good neighbor. That's part of your neighborhood care network. That's what we're asking you to do. Okay, next. Okay, so we have talked about three things. We have talked about setting up your neighborhood care network. That's going and visiting your neighbors or dropping that flyer that we shared and creating a network of people. Within that network of people, identifying who can help you or who is interested in helping with immigration and helping your impacted neighbors. And three, civics. And that's uh, protecting our vote, getting out the vote, and protecting elections. Any questions?
Comments, thoughts?
Yes. So would you mind putting that? It was the one about the you're hanging on the doorknobs that, you know, the last thing you had up. I had to go,
Oh,
about yeah, that. So I actually would like to steal that and use it for Johnson County, if you don't mind.
Blaine, can you do you have a template or something that she can use, like a Word
Well,
file?
they're originally made in Google Docs, so I don't have a template exactly, but I can work up one in Canva and put out for everyone to
Yeah.
use.
You can, if it's Google Docs, you can share the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, because I would love to. I do know my over here in Johnson County. I
Yeah.
do know my precinct chair. She actually lives like, oh, I don't know, 500 yards from me. And
Yeah.
so as you probably know, Sabrina, like I'm so stretched, but
Yeah.
this would be a great way for me to be able to help her. And then, like you're saying, you know, you never know when somebody's outside and you can have a conversation, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I found this old one that I did.
Yeah, I like that idea, Cindy. I was trying to think how I could approach our precinct chair. I don't know him. I know his name, but that's a good
Yeah.
idea. Take something that you can actually do to help. I like that idea.
Okay, here's a Canva link to the letter I was talking about, and here's what it looks like. I made it pretty. And I had my people drop a letter like this. And we also did who represented you sheets, which was very tedious. I would have to say it was a bit tedious, but and this might be helpful. Okay. Yeah, if I can find it. Okay, here's one. Okay. So I helped people create these. And it might be super helpful right now since a lot of people were redistricted and they don't know. that we created these for different precincts, and it's just something people could put on their fridge. I always encourage like the people that are interested in activism to save their representatives' phone numbers in their phone. So like I have in my contacts, I have John Cornyn and Ted Cruz and Craig and all these losers in my phone. Um, I call them all the time.
You have a lot of conversations with them?
I mostly talk when I call Craig, I get Graham and I talk to Graham. His office. I Ted Cruz never answers. His office never answers. Yeah, I'm always leaving a message. And I have to say, I don't think John's answered in a while. But Craig's office usually answers. I just don't believe that they're at the Fort Worth Club. I think it's some guy's cell phone. I think Graham's cell phone. It rings to his cell phone or something.
And he hasn't blocked you yet?
No, no.
Okay, I'm
It's been a
surprised,
minute since
but
I've called him. I wonder if he's still there. He's a nice boy. He just
well,
doesn't.
we've got about 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to talk to Cornyn in a
What's
while
that?
either. It gives you the option to talk to somebody, and I don't know. I'd say over the last 6 months at least, you cannot talk to anybody.
Yeah. Okay. We could talk about Discord. We could go ahead and go into that
Why
section.
don't we do a little bit on Discord and then
Yeah.
we can just to get, yeah. And let me interrupt saying thank you to Sabrina for taking on so much of the talking this time around. Obviously, I can't talk very well. Blaine has pretty much lost his voice, and our other person didn't show. So thank you for taking this on. You're great.
Yeah. Thanks. I need to. The Sunday was like a practice run.
Yeah, you got it, girl. Okay.
Okay. Blaine, if you could go back to the presentation. Yeah. Okay. So I know everybody is on Facebook or Signal right now. We would like people to start building a community in Discord. The 817 pod has done this very successfully, and they have a lot of conversations in there. I'm in other groups on Discord. I have a server for Indivisible 12. We have created a new one for both of our chapters for these care networks so that you can go in and share information about the work that you're doing in your neighborhood. um, you can go ahead and go to the next one. So this is what it looks like. What's nice about Discord is if you're on Signal right now, I've got like 30 different Signal chats, and it's hard to keep up with the topic of anything and keep the groups separate. We prefer, we really want to try this because we can organize. You can see on the left there. We'll show you a map in a little bit that explains the different avenues. But we are going to create different channels in our Discord server. So it's like a page that you go to that is structured with different topics. You can click on the different topics and have conversation in there. You can see at the top left-hand side, it says Meeting Resource Post Hub. We've already got some stuff in there, and this is a screenshot. So we've already got more in there. So a lot of the things that we have shared, we're throwing into the Discord so that you can go back and find it. You can go to the next one.
You get to that thing.
We're going to get you there. So you can
And we
see
talked
like,
about, oh,
yeah,
sorry.
this is just one like, so this is a channel that says registering people to vote. So you can see the topic on the left. When you would click on that, it'll take you to the conversation about registering people to vote. And this is a post that Blaine has made within that specific channel. Go to the next.
I'm really basic. How do you get to Discord?
Okay, so I am going to throw a picture.
Website or what is it?
It is
And we
It's
talked
gonna.
about on Sunday, we talked about the idea of actually having a training with Discord if there's some interest in that with the group. Um, just a virtual
Right.
training once everybody signs up.
Let me find. I'm gonna put the link to actually, Blaine, you had where did
I
it
did put that link to the Discord server at the resource links at the top. I'll move it me until link was I put the wrong one by accident. I put the one the
what's the
nearest.
one where's the one to download Discord?
Oh, that is going to. Oh, I don't have the
I
link
think
to
I have it
down.
on my phone. Hold on.
Okay.
Up, up, up. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna drop a QR for you to just download it.
I did
Actually,
have,
I'll make it big.
assuming that QR code does still work. I did have one towards the. Oh, never mind.
Here. I just thought I'd make it big. Okay. So this is to download Discord.
I don't do those things either.
Oh, okay. Da, 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 da. I'll help you, Gordon. We'll get you figured out.
There's something you can type in on your keyboard.
Yes.
I'm calling the download link now.
Yeah.
Discord also has a website on it you can go to on your personal computer.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more interested in that. I don't know that I want Discord on my phone. I already have a Discord.
I
I've
do
been on
like it
Discord,
on my
but
computer.
it's been years, so I'll probably just have to do a forgot my password thing.
Yeah, I do like using it on my computer as opposed to my phone, just because I
Yeah.
can make everything bigger. And what's nice about it is we can do meetings within Discord. So, say you get a really strong group going in your neighborhood and you don't want a Zoom account or something. We can create meeting channels within Discord that you can meet like a Zoom, that looks like a Zoom and acts like a Zoom. So right now, I'm working with the People's Commissioners Court. We have a planning core team. We meet once a week. We meet in Discord.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, I'm muting. Sorry. Um, base. You had a question.
Yes. My Discord was based on a gaming activities that I did. So
Mhm.
I have a gaming name. Would I need to change my
I don't
name
care
where
what
people
name you have.
recognize me?
No, I don't. I mean, you can have whatever name you want.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just let people know in the chat that this
yeah.
is base.
This is
Okay.
base. Or you can put
Okay.
base in your like. I don't know. Can you change?
You can adjust your presentation name per Discord server as far as that goes, as I was looking at. So
Nice.
you can,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm not Sabrina in Discord. Because when I first got on Discord, I was in like younger organization groups, and the first time I was in there, I was like, nobody's using their name. Nobody's even using their picture for a meeting. They were using avatars and stuff, and I'm like, well, this just outs me as old. So I changed my changed my name, and I don't ever put my picture up anymore. So now it's like a I don't know emoji looking thing. It's funny. And people have the funniest names. It's great. Okay, so that was the Discord to download it. Um, Let me give you a link to get to our server. Mhm.
I think I had it back at the top amongst the others, but
This link I'm dropping is good for 7 days. The,
okay.
yeah. So I can put up, if somebody's already in Discord and wants to join, I'm going to share my screen. And if someone wants to go in and say hi in the main square, do I have any takers? So see,
I'm
there's
working on it. I have to
Yeah.
re-register.
so there's Blaine.
So we have to have this downloaded before we can actually join, right?
Right.
Okay.
You can just do it. Yeah, I don't think you have to download it to your computer. I think you can go from discord.com and just log in.
Yeah, you don't need. You can go from the website. You don't need to
Yeah.
have the desktop app.
Are y'all putting your actual birth date?
Oh, I probably didn't.
Okay.
There's space.
What? Oh,
There's space. He said he's in. He said hello.
It says birthdays required.
Oh. Well, I mean, you don't have to put your real
That's okay.
birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I think they just want to make sure you're old enough. I don't know. But my
All
kids
right.
were in there before.
Well, if they're smart enough, they're
Yeah.
going to lie about their age.
Yeah. I mean, I have
So,
a gamer that uses Discord. So
On,
like
on
my
some of the
gamer kid set up my Indivisible 12 one. So this is Indivisible.
on
okay.
some of my
Yeah.
birthday requests, I've been putting 8647, which is to say 8647.
Yeah.
Down with Trump.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. Here, I'm gonna invite y'all to mine. Oh, there we go. Bye, Lauren. Okay, there's my server. We're going to be talking about Fort Worth ISD a lot in my server. You got any teacher friends that want to join as an alias? Please send them my way. All right, we successfully did Discord, Ann.
Yay.
It's so much easier from Zoom, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to
Um,
finish it on. And we
yeah.
have one more thing to do, right?
Do we? Okay.
The survey.
Oh, yes, the survey.
The
Okay.
survey. Let's go to the next slide. Just pardon my voice. I'll try to make it quick.
I don't. I don't think I have the survey on the slide.
Oh, I know, but it has this, it has just sort of some of the ideas that we have on the survey.
Oh,
What we're going
okay.
to do, excuse me, just in summary, there are, we're looking for neighborhood networks that you're going to go out there and kind of help form one at a time, one person at a time. And then within those networks, working either with some sort of mutual aid and or helping to protect our immigrant neighbors and or protecting and building and encouraging our vote. And there are a number of different kinds of activities that you can do to do that. And here are some suggestions. And I just put in the chat a link to a very quick survey. If you'll do that, pretty please. And asking you whether or not which of those things you think you can at least try to do within the next month or so. And there's a yes and a no and a maybe answer to that. Everything from like you just did, some of you joining the server, all the way to checking back in with us at some point in time, attending the movie Miento training, or other ideas of your own that you may have. So if you would take a few minutes to do that, we would really appreciate your input. We won't share your information, but
Where
we
is it?
will reach out to you to see what kind of support you need in some of your work going forward.
Where is it?
Oh, it's in
Pardon?
the chat. The
Chat.
survey is in the chat.
I just put it down there at the very end. It's up at the top, and it's also, I just added it, didn't it? Yeah. Did you see it, Gordon?
I don't see it.
In the chat. It's the very last thing in the chat right now.
Did you post this somewhere else some other time? I think I've already filled this out.
Oh, you may. Well, yeah, we sent it out to the folks who were there at
Sunday?
Yeah.
the What You Can Do that there
Okay.
Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And Gordon, if you can't get it to it, I can email it to you separately. You can fill it out later if you promise.
Yeah. And we know this is a lot of information, a lot of things that we're asking you to do. We're not asking you to do it all in a month. We're not asking, this is an endeavor. This is like a new lifelong endeavor. We are doing this for however long it takes to get through the Trump regime and
First
beyond. This
November
is
and
really
then two
like,
years.
this is what we need to do from now on. I feel like a lot of, especially young people, if you can contact the your young neighbors and get to know them and help them, they do not have the experience that a lot of folks do. I even my experience is very different um, than the experience of the older organizers that I work with because they had civics in school. So like some of you may have had civics an entire year in high school. I never had civics. I'm in my 40s. I never had civics. No one taught me civics. I didn't know what a precinct chair was until maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I didn't know what a precinct chair was. I had no idea. I mean, I kind of knew I went to vote in my precinct, but that was it. I didn't know there was a person, a
Right.
Democratic Party person. People used to, multiple people run for precinct chair. That's your closest elected official. A lot of young people don't know any of this. So, and they're so turned off by the process because they don't believe it helps anything. And we have to change that. We have to,
Change their minds.
yeah. And they don't, I mean, it's not even it's even a habit of like, you don't, a lot of young people don't know, I can go ask my neighbor for something. It's just not even in a mindset right now. So, base, yes.
Yes. Does the precinct chair, are they involved with the voter judge? I
No,
guess.
not, no, not directly, but they can be. So, like, um, a lot of precinct chairs do volunteer or do work as election judges, but they're not tied
Okay.
formally.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Any last ideas, comments, questions? We will be reaching out to you over time. We may even be we're thinking about having a camaraderie gathering at some point in the next 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, just to have fun and regroup and um, share
Oh, one came
stories.
up today. One came up today, actually.
Ah,
So Rodney Lee, who's running for Justice of the Peace up on the northwest end of the district, he is having a karaoke night at McFly's in River Oaks, and I believe we are going to make it an Indivisible 12 community night. So if y'all want to join us,
ah,
we've done community night there
yeah,
before, and it's a lot of fun. It's a fun
it
place.
is
So
fun.
this is a karaoke night. Let's see. Um,
Well, even if I have my voice back, I won't sing.
you don't think we should hear you sing?
Yeah,
Let's say I do love karaoke, but that's definitely out for me for the next couple of weeks. So
This is on,
All
let's
right.
see, this is on May 8th. I'm going to drop this in the chat.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
all of
Well,
these
any other?
resources will be in the Discord, and we'll also
Ah,
send out an email. Um, and I did record this if anybody
oh yeah.
needs it, but we would ask that you not share it out into the world.
So I
Is
was
All
just going to
right.
every
say,
Is
I
anybody
was just
on
gonna
here
say,
not comfortable with me sharing? Because there are people that couldn't attend.
Yeah, I like the slides. I think they're really great. I was going to
Okay.
tell y'all, thank y'all so much. And yeah, I know you and I started to call you Signal, uh, Sabrina, on the Signal. I was a little bit like, how's this going to work? And so I think it's wonderful. Yeah.
Yay. Thanks.
yeah, thanks to everybody.
All right. I'm not going to
There we
keep
go
you. My
again.
husband's asking me about dinner. Any last questions?
Thank you. We will be
Okay.
in touch. You all be in touch. Go out there and conquer.
Thank you all so
So,
very much for
Thank you
Thank
coming.
you,
I
all.
appreciate
everybody.
the Bumpy
Y'all have
Roads.
a good night.
bye-bye.
Good night.
Just stick around for a second. Nope. Okay.